Hi, everybody. I'm so happy. You know what today is? Not only is it the full moon, but do you know what else it is today? You know what day it is today? It is National Lipstick Day. Yes, it is. And I'm putting my lipstick on for National Lipstick Day. There we go. So we got the lip on for National Lipstick Day. Isn't that awesome? So, for those who receive the full moon readings and new moon readings, they were sent out last week on the 25th. So, please go and check your inbox and check your junk and check your junk, junk mail, and spam to make sure it didn't go in there because I did send them out. And I know a few of you have already come to me and like, oh, are you still doing them? Yeah, I'm still doing them. I still do the new moon and full moon readings. Last one wasn't a recorded one because I was unable to do the recording. I wrote it out for you, so it was sent out in an email. This one was recorded, so you did get the video this week, but it was sent out last week. So I did them all last on Saturday, I believe. So please check that out. And yeah, so got them out. So I'm still doing full moon and new moon readings. If anybody would like to get a full moon reading, they're $60. And I do a special, it's based on your natal chart. So I pull up your natal chart, see where the moon is in your natal chart and how that relates to all the other lovely little things that are going on in your chart and how that is maybe affecting you or enhancing you or just helping you along your little merry way, you know? So that's what the new moon and full moon readings are. The next thing that I am just so excited and so pumped about, of course, are my letters from Mama G. Now, I just sent out the people who already signed up. So they're out, they're in the mail, and it was, I don't know. I mean, yeah, sure, there are 14 of them. I was just so happy. The girl was looking at them when I brought them into the into Shoppers Drug Mart at the post office, and she's looking at them because they're all decorated, and so yeah, so they're all going. Lots of learned lessons on this one on what to do and what not to do when with them and how to set things up, especially once I start getting larger with more people coming in and subscribing, right? And this is where I'm just really wanting the community to grow because I feel like this is just um such a fabulous way of connecting. It is such a beautiful way of just taking that downtime. I'm just it's some things like because I was so excited when I was packing them, and that's the whole thing is that I really need, even if it's just like 13, 14, or 15 people, to be making sure that I am organized on this and getting myself organized. I've already started working on the stickers for next month for the September one, but I still have plenty here for people if they really want to um, be a part of, and sign up now, and you will get the August one. I won't let you wait till September to get the next one. You will receive the August one. I think that's only fair. So it's yeah, it's just a step and getting out there and doing it and creating. Each one will get better as I'm doing it. Each one I will be able to perfect things and fine tune them so that right down to your, if I'm doing a bookmark or I'm eventually wanting to do sticker sheets for people and have sticker sheets for people. So doing the sticker sheets, doing, maybe it's like little notepads and writing my letter. My daughter read my letter and she was like, "Okay, mom, you got to cut this back a little bit. Maybe just break it up so over the months." She goes, "Because you don't want like you don't want a 5-page letter." So she goes, "Just cut it back. Just give the people the highlights of what what it all means to you." And she's such a beautiful Aquarius. Like she'll give you this is this is what you need to do when you're doing this, right? And still make it meaningful. So I found that very helpful. And as you know, getting her insight on that as well. So, yeah, so it's just so exciting getting everything out. Hey, Cynthia, and getting everything in the mail and getting it out there. It is quite a jaunt. I mean, for us to go, we all went. Already put out little videos. We were on the train. I'm really amazed at how much Sate is growing every time we go by there because they've added on to Sate and the for the parking and everything else. I'm not sure what everything is that they just built, but it is a huge addition to the campus, that is for sure. I don't think they have anywhere else they could grow. I think they've utilized every single inch of that campus on Sate, but it's pretty cool to see. North Hill Mall. Well, North Hill Mall is still North Hill Mall. At least they don't have the carpet in there anymore, which most malls, believe it or not, here's the crazy thing. When malls, a lot of the malls, especially smaller malls like North Hill, Marlborough Mall was one, is a fine example of people from Calgary. But a lot of malls, when they were first being built, had carpet. Can you imagine? Can you imagine how much to clean that to keep it up? Ew, I know. That's why when you went into some of these malls, they just stunk. And then people were allowed to smoke back then in the mall, right? You didn't have to leave. So it's just disgusting. I can't even imagine what it was like to take the freaking carpet out of the mall. Like that would have been something. But you don't see that. You don't see that anymore. But North Hill Mall is still a little mall. It is. There's some mom and pop shops that are in there, and then of course you have Winners. You have the dollar store, Safeway, the bank, and oh, there's a liquor store in there. What else is in there? There's a shoemaker in there. Uh, Travel agency, a few other little little shops and stuff that are in there too. It's a cute little mall. It doesn't take much, but it's right next door. The thing is with North Hill Mall, I mean, they have such a diverse people that come in there. They have not only the people that live in the high rises next to it. It's as if I'm going with this with my arm as if it's right next door to me. But it's the high rises right next door to them are the are retirees. Um, quite costs a lot of money to live in those. And then you also have all the kids in there that go to Sate. And then you have the families. There used to be a lot of families, but now in that area, there's also a lot more because a lot of the people who had children in that area, some are still there. I mean, you still have the uh, baby boomers that had the children there that raised the children because the houses are quite the yards and everything are large, but you can see the ones who sold, right? And now you have a lot of the infills in that, and the new people can't have been have there, and then you have a whole area there that has these huge. I can see the places from my house, and they're just up there on the hill, and they're humongous multi-million dollar homes that are up there. So it's quite a diverse economic area. Plus, they're right there by the LRT, so you get a lot of the interesting people that are on the train and travel the train system. Just they are interesting people. So, anyways, it was quite the excursion out there. Mateus is going to say Owen. We always call Mateus Owen. Both Olivia and I do, don't we, Mateus? Uh huh. Mm. So Mateus got his little bubble tea and stuff, and Steve got his Chinese food. But he wasn't happy with his Chinese food. He said the Chinese food was kind of blah. It was. It was very sweet. I tell you the truth, I'm not a Chinese food person. It's not my, if I go to a food court, Chinese food is not where I'm going to get my stuff. I might go to Opa or somewhere else. But I noticed the new Filipino chicken place was in the mall. And that's where I think we should have gone, but it was too late by the time I remembered. because I we passed it and we were doing other things. So that would have been a good place because it's supposed to be very trendy. I can't remember what it's called. I just remember the logo and the color was yellow and stuff. So it's and that I was told it was a Filipino chicken place and it's supposed to be very good. So there's that. That's quite cool. So today's the full moon. Today's oh, the chart's crazy today. It's not only there's so many aspects that are happening, so many um there's so much movements that are happening in the heavens right now. And there is huge activations that are going on. And I think it's kind of funny, haha, that Mr. Fauci is in the House of Senate or whatever they call him in, and is being questioned, and he's not answering any of the questions because he's been told to plead the fifth, and he's pleading the fifth on everything. The one senator who is actually interviewing him or questioning him right now is hilarious. He's a young guy. He's only been in there for 6 years, and he actually swore at him. I love it. So, because of all the lies that he told, right? We all know what they were. Um, this is where a lot of the information is coming out from what the effects are with all of this, right? And the thing is i- with me, with what I did, what happened. Most of you know what happened to me. Here comes Mateus, and he's saying, "Hello, hello." But what happened with me is that I lost a majority of my clients because of what I was posting, what I was bringing out, and what I was telling people, what the transits were all about. You're going to say hello so I can continue on? There we go. Thank you. Um, and telling people about what was in it. And now everything that was being said, and it's not to toot my own horn, but the truth is coming out, right? And with the truth coming out, it's like for those who have, I feel like, look into alternative ways to see, to get that out of your system. Really watch your health. Your health is going to be so, so important. Um, Now they're coming out with a lot of information. If you put that on, you got to put it on extremely low. Um, that people they're unaliving themselves, right? Because of this and because of what has happened with the shot, which is horrific. It's horrific, right? And my heart goes out to people who, you know, followed suit and or who would have lost their job. The whole thing, we know the story. But all the emails, everything is coming out about Fauci. Will anything be done with him? I don't think so. I really don't. Which is unfortunate. But I think the embarrassment is going to be the big thing with him, and having to go through the embarrassment of it all. So this full moon is asking. It is a truth moon, right? Because Pluto's there, and it's asking us to become much more intentional about where we're placing our energy, who we invite into our lives, what are we willing to invest in moving forward. And this is not about believing we are above anybody else, but it's not about becoming cold or detached or disappearing from the world, but it's about getting yourself, it's recognizing that we cannot continue sacrificing what we love, dimming who we are, or pouring our vitality into people and situations that do not meet us halfway, right? We have to choose wisely. And this is where this energy is. This energy is coming in to get us to, it's jolting us to get out there to do things. And I know for myself, like, I get frustrated because as a person who is an intuitive, a psychic, and people come to me for advice and they ask me and then don't do it. That's just like, okay. Or they're always gloomy. It's like, what the hell? What would something good to happen in my life? And I'm naming off all the beautiful things that are going on in their life, and they're still unhappy, or they're still like, well, I want something like isn't there something good like, oh my god, don't you see that you are living better than 90% of the world right now? You have a home, you have this and you have that. And then there's still like, it's just like blows my fucking brain every single time. Or they're sitting there like, I don't know why this isn't working. Well, get your freaking ass out there and make it work. I mean, I gotta say, this what I do isn't easy. I mean, I bust my ass. Sometimes I don't want to. Sometimes I'd rather take it easy and just lay back and maybe, maybe I don't know, get a muggle job. I don't that would just suck the life out of me. But, you know, that's the whole thing. Is like, if you really want to create something, you really want to do it, you got to get out there. You got to put your energy into it. You can't just sit on the sidelines. And that's what this energy is all about. And, the letters from Mama G, I'm excited about it. I want to do this. It's going to grow. I'm putting that out there. It's going to grow. I'm going to be doing a market next month, and I'm going to be printing out, I'm going to get little QR codes so people can scan and join. I want people joining, right? I want this to grow. And this is where it's like, with the sun and Jupiter are together in Leo, and it's opposite the full moon in Aquarius and closely connected to Pluto, lovely little old Pluto. It's creating enormous pressure around identity, power, leadership. There's going to be some crazy thing. August is going to bring in some cray stuff when it comes to leaders of the world. Something crazy is going to happen to the leaders of the world, or a leader of the world. And this is also about belonging and friendship and community in the future we are building. Leo represents the heart, the courage, the creativity, joy, vitality, and the desire to live fully, right? Aquarius asks us to step outside the familiar, the excitement with something different, and disrupts our energy in a new way. And because it's ruled by Uranus. And the challenge, it's not to lose our individuality inside the group, but it's also not to sit alone on the throne waiting for everyone else to understand us. We need both. We need that give and that take with all of this, and we need the confidence to know who we are and the awareness to recognize where we genuinely belong. The South Node is in Leo, and we're asking, this is releasing old stories around validation, attention, pride, control, and the belief that life must unfold. And we're going to see a lot of people, a lot of this is going to come up where they are not going to want to let go of some kind of identity of some kind, because they want that attention, they want that validation. And here's this energy saying, no, sorry, no, no. We're seeing it in the Northeast here in Calgary. People are like, you want validation from us? You want attention from us? No, you're not getting it. You've done your thing. You got what you needed. It's time to move on. That's where this end, you're actually seeing it in real time. And the North Node in Aquarius is opening an unfamiliar road. And it does not look polished. It may not make sense to everyone around you, but it may require us to connect with different people, explore new technology. That's what Aquarius is. Change our routines, leave an old environment, take a chance on something we have never tried before. Got to roll the dice, right? You got to get out there. You got to try something new. That's where it is. And make the connections you didn't expect. Like, if you want to get out and you want to meet somebody, got to be involved. Maybe you join a community event. Maybe you just try something new. Go to a different coffee shop, right? So it's making those connections and take an unpaved road. Allow yourself to experiment without needing a guarantee that everything is going to work out, right? So the Aquarius energy understands that life is an experiment. Not every attempt will become permanent. but every attempt to give us, it gives us information. Remaining trapped because we are afraid of making the wrong choice, it's going to keep us a prisoner inside. So the door, it's already unlocked, it's already ready, people. It's time for us to get off our asses and get the fuck out, right? Don't let the door hit you on the way. And split, yeah. Isn't that the truth? This is it. And if you want to see radical change, we are going to be seeing some real crazy radical change. We More is coming up about the immigration and the borders and everything else. More is coming out about where people are going, what they're going to accept and what they're not going to accept. More people are going to be stepping out and saying, no, you can call me whatever you want to call me. Right? This is where it's almost like, even with the Fauci thing, it's like almost 6 years to the day with everything coming out with him. And it's being revealed, it's being shown. And a lot of people, it's like these are hard truths. Hard truths are coming in your face. And sometimes seeing the hard truths and hearing the hard truths is like, even though it is the truth, it's still a hard belief. It's a hard belief thing, because it's something that you've invested in. It's something that you were told to believe. It was something that you were like, oh my God, maybe somehow you knew inside, yet you were afraid. And this is saying, okay, right, you might have been afraid then, you can't be afraid now. This is go time. August is going to bring in the eclipses. August is going to bring in some real crazy radical energy. We're going to be starting to see Venus starting to even slow down, because she will be going retrograde in October in Scorpio. And so we are going to be seeing a lot of uprising, upheaval. We're going to be witnessing, I know there's something to do, I don't know what world leader, but there is going to be something happening with world leaders. Or an attack, another world leader. If it's an attack on Trump again, well, some of the alignments are very similar to the alignment when he was first shot at. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens. But I don't feel it's Trump. Other things are going on with the Trump and the Trump family in August. So there's other things that are going to be developing there. But there's going to be a lot that's going just real crazy shit that's going to be unfolding. That's for sure. Matthias, who's coming in? I don't know either. Somebody's coming, but it's the courage to be seen differently. So in comes somebody. Oh, it's Edward. That's who's coming in. Edward. Yeah. Yeah, we thought you weren't going to be here for 2 weeks. We thought it was going to be quiet, but it's not.
It's already messed up. Look at that shit.
It's your favorite son. So it's your favorite son. So
I don't like that pillow. It's too big for my head.
You got another pillow over there you can grab. So it's the authenticity is what this is all about. It's not creating by copying what appears successful on social media. That's the other thing. It does not come from becoming a version of someone else. This is becoming your own version, your own self, right? The idea that sounds impossible, the dream that does not fit the old plan, the side of ourselves that we keep, that we have kept hidden, and the connection nobody expected. So that is the path that's really coming in, right? And as it is coming in, as this energy is coming in, I feel like it's a real big time for us to really take a stand. So much for that, eh? Yeah. But it's time for us just to try something new, to create something. It's not for our egos need applause. The difference, for the ego, this full moon, it's asking us to stop editing ourselves into something more acceptable. right? This is about stepping into our spiritual heart. And the spiritual heart remains curious. The ego wants control, and it wants to take over, right? And wants to take over the outcome. The spiritual one who wants to be curious, wants to look into things, and the spiritual heart is willing to participate in the mystery and look at things in a different way. Take a different route to work, right? Try a different way of looking at life. Maybe try a different spice in the food, right? Try something different that you haven't eaten before. And this is where the connection is. This is part of the medicine. There's a delicate balance between discernment and isolation. We need to be careful about who receives our energy, but we must not become so guarded that nobody can reach us. You know, I'm yeah, I got a confession. I don't sage a hell of a lot in my house. I sage once in a while. I used to sage all the time. I feel I can clear my energy. I feel what's going to come in. You're keeping if something crazy disrupts or whatever, might I might sage it and stuff like that. But I'm just like, I don't know. I just don't feel I need to. I also feel like if someone's going to throw shit on me, it's going to bounce back to them anyways, right? I'm going to send it back to the light and bless myself with love and light. Um I don't think I think you need to keep your house clean. That's the thing. Keeping your house clean, dusting. I'm a big one. Like, dust your fucking house. Like, I don't know what else to say to people. If you're not dusting, if you're not going around dusting your house, that you could sage till whatever. Dust holds negative energy and it holds all kinds of stuff. So if you're not dusting and stuff like that, then no. I don't I don't blame other people for my shortfalls. If something shit happens to me, I'm not saying, "Oh, somebody cursed me." No, I don't. Years ago, I might have, because of being not strong within my own self. But I feel I'm 100% responsible for my own reality. If something doesn't work, it doesn't work. I have to actually sit down and look at the muggle reason why it doesn't work. Well, maybe I didn't promote enough. Maybe I'm, I don't know, something wasn't within the algorithm or something wasn't out there, right? Or I didn't put myself out there. So I have to look at me on the reasons why things didn't work or why certain elements weren't in my alignment. And I also look at my chart on why things aren't, opening up or what have you. So those are the types of things. Or it might be that I also have to have patience. Maybe God is leading me somewhere else. Maybe there's something else, there's something different out there for me, and I have to allow myself to take that step, not to freeze myself or not to isolate myself, but to allow myself to say, "Hey, all right, let me just take a time out here," kind of thing. And that's what I feel is so important right now. And people are so quick to blame everybody else for whatever's going on, or their business failing or the relationship failing or whatever is failing in their life. And it's like, instead of looking at, okay, right now I'm going through a hard point in my life, and there's a reason why the angels are taking, or the divine, or this person is no longer in my alignment. There's a reason. Okay, if this business didn't work for me, why didn't it work for me? Well, there might have been a lot of reasons. Like, maybe, it wasn't right for you. Maybe there really wasn't enough money, and uh the list can go on to whatever reason. But that's the whole thing, is that if things aren't working, you rolled the dice, you tried something and it's just not aligning, at least you tried. Continue on to something else. Move in a new direction. But don't sit there and say, "Oh, it's not working," and mope. It's just like, fuck off. Like, I'm sorry. My patience with a lot of that is very thin with people. and even with myself. So for my letters from Mama G, for me to have this work, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it until I get, I don't know how many people, until it just blows up, because that's what I want. And it's not that it's a get rich scheme. It's because I really want people to come into that divine algorithm. I really want people to come into a place of peace, a place where, yeah, my first letter is very raw. Everything in there is very, it's right. It's like doing your first video. It's like, and I'm just like, okay, it came from the heart. That's all I got to say. Everything came from the heart. But that's the whole thing. It's like each time I'm going to do it, it's going to become something a little bit more creative, something a little bit more, right? And that's where this energy is all coming into, right? Not every idea will succeed, not every door will remain open, but rejection does not determine our worth. Sometimes it simply means the energy was not meant to connect. Let it move and let yourself move. Aquarius does not remain stuck trying to force circulation where there is none. It redirects the energy towards the places where something new can be created. And that Venus that's squaring Mars, what is actually working, right? Mars is in Gemini. It's tension around relationship, choices, routines, communication, attraction, work, and practical details of our life. Venus is function. She's in Virgo. She notices what is messy, inconsistent, and inefficient, and no longer healthy. So it's this stimulation, the movement, the conversations, the curiosity, and together they are asking what's working, what's no longer working, what needs to be cleaned up. Where are you bored, right? Where are you frustrated because the energy is not responding? And this is where, with Mercury is becoming, is moving forward. So the mental fog is lifting. So let's get out of this. Humanity must leave its prison. And we've been in a prison for a long time, and it's time for us to go. And we must look deeper. And we must ask questions. And we must recognize when fear is being used to manipulate us, right? So we need awareness and discernment and courage, and Chiron is going to be slowing down. It's like, it's going to be going retrograde. And we're really going to feel this Chiron because it's in Taurus. So it's going to come in about worth and money and security, the body, resources, value. So much is coming in for us. But that's even still, it's telling us to continue to move. It's telling us to become curious. And it's telling us, I will begin when I have, you can't be saying, I will begin when I have more money. I will go out when I feel better. I will pursue love when everything else is perfect. I will launch the business when I know it will succeed. No, no, no. This full moon is asking whether we are withholding life from ourselves. A garden cannot grow if we refuse to plant. A relationship cannot deepen if we refuse to show up. And a business cannot expand if we refuse not to share it. Right? So dreams cannot become real if we keep treating it as something that belongs only to our imagination. What do you value? And are your actions supporting it? And that's where we're at. This full moon is a huge activation moon. And I have to tell you that there's not a lot, when it comes to full moons or new moons, like the activation of moons. This one is like full throttle, baby. It's full throttle. I notice it. The moon shines into my bedroom every night, and our whole room just is like, whoo, it's like someone turned on a light. It's just crazy. And you could just feel that vibration of the illumination of the silver light just shining upon us as we're trying to sleep. Embrace it. Embrace it. If you really want to try something new right now, or if you've been sitting around moping, wondering why, and coming up with excuse after excuse. You know, this moon is like, here you go, baby. Let's go. You know, and it's National Lipstick Day, so go out and buy a new lipstick. I'm going to send you guys out with so much love. If you're not registered for my Letters from Mama G, link is in the bio. DM me. I can send you the link. If people don't want to do the subscription, some people have just e-transferred me to for a couple months so that they can have it for a couple months and do it that way. That's that's something they can do as well. I just want to say thank you for all your support and everybody who has been supporting me, and just allowing yourself to shine. Really, people, the world's undergoing a massive change, a radical change, and it's not to be afraid of. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of AI. There's, with it, there's good and there's bad. That's with everything. There's good stuff on TV and there's bad stuff on TV. Um, it's how we are going to utilize it and how we're going to embrace the changes that are coming in. The other thing that's coming through too is countries aren't, when, all of these people that are coming in for to work at, like, immigration is going to change as well, and the whole thing with immigration, that whole thing is going to be changing very quickly soon, because the states has even recognized it, where they're not allowing so many people in anymore. I mean, they already started that, but because of the changes that are going on right now, some of the trucking companies in the United States are going driverless. So that'll be interesting for the first little while. And of course, there's going to be hiccups, a lot of hiccups, but you're going to start seeing driverless truck drivers. Just like right now, you have the driverless Weibo or whatever they're called in the States and stuff. There's a whole nother thing on that. So it's scary, but you know what? There's a place. It's called Shin. Let me get it up. Shin. She's. It's a major technology metropolitan in China. See if I can get some images. It's There we go. Let's pull that one up. Just to show you. It's absolute. I mean, the city is clean. These are just some of the pictures of it. There's the AirPod. It's called the AirPod. It's a museum that's there. There's drones. Everything is delivered by drones in the city. It's clean. Yes, it's China. There's good and bad and everything. I know what people are going to say, but right now, what they are devising in the city is that they're going to be having taxis. So they're working on the airport right now on for planes coming in, because they have drones and everything, and for the planes for coming in and landing. They're also looking at taxi lanes, and not on the ground. This is all up in the sky. So there's going to be like the Jetsons. So it's going to be just like, like here comes the Jetsons. I mean, if you think about it, Dick Tracy, everybody knows who Dick Tracy. Dick Tracy had a watch he could talk into. You know, we have like the Jetsons. You know how we have filters and everything. Well, in the Jetsons, she used to have a filter where when she's answering the phone in the morning, she'd put on her filter. It was a mask, right? They had the robot. They had a robot dog, and they had a robot, maid, and everything else. That's people are getting that, right? So we're there. We're living it. And this one place, Shinzi, Zine, is a very interesting city, and it's very The modernization of it is just, crazy. But we're also in an age where drone delivery to the hospital for medical parts, for people who need a transplant and stuff, they find it faster that people can get drones and stuff like that. And people still have jobs there. There's a 70-year-old woman driving a drone. There's a 70-year-old woman driving a drone. She does drone delivery. That's what she does. She sits in the park with her drone. She has her little drone, does her pickups and drop offs, right? Yeah, there's still jobs. They're just jobs that are changing. Jobs are changing in different ways and in new ways. You're not going to have people working in fast food restaurants. You're just not. People aren't going to be working in them anymore. They're going to be different technology type of jobs. And it's just like, when the industrial revolution came with the farmers, the farming industry had to change, right? And the farming industry had to look at the new type of tractors that are coming out. Now the farming industry is changing again. Tractors are becoming that you it just it's just like even the collars for dogs and stuff that people are putting on for their dogs, that a tracker for the dogs, I think. Anyways, the tracker for the dogs, and the dog, you put in wherever you live, right? The your property line and everything else. And if the dog goes over the property line, it starts beep 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 beep, lets you know that the dog is going out of bounds. They have that for tractors, in that where the tractors where you go and you survey your whole land, and then all of a sudden you just put the tractor out there, and it cultivates, it seeds, it weeds, and everything else, right? And they're not driven. They're not driven. And that's the same way that's going to be happening with cars and taxis, and of course, this isn't for us. This is not our generation. All our generation is going to complain. The Gen X's are going to complain. The millennials will complain. The Gen X's might complain a bit, but this is for my grandson's generation. This is his generation. This is what they are going to be having. This is going to be for the beta generation, which is after Mateus, right? So he's the alpha generation, then you have the beta generation. So what you are seeing now is not necessarily being developed for us. It's being developed for the next generation. Whether we like it or not, it doesn't matter, right? When you go and everybody's like, I want, at a grocery store, and I know a lot of people they're getting rid of self-checkout. Well, they're going to be redevising the self-checkout, and then they'll, instead of having a self-checkout, they'll probably have some kind of AI robot there who's going to be going through and doing everything. Everything's going to get smoothed out. Eventually does. It always does. Not everything's going to be perfect. Not everything's going, but I mean, right down to even others jobs within about training different AI for doing different jobs, from pouring cement to welding to carpentry and stuff. They have multi-million dollar houses that can be built in 10 days because they're all prefab, and they only need 6 guys on the job to do it. Absolutely fabulous. I was watching that the other day. It is just incredible. And they're all insulated, the plumbing and everything, it's all set up and done. You just need the one guy to come in, boom, it's done. Boom, it's done. It's a different world. And we've just moved into it even more. So embrace it. Embrace the positive with it, right? Yes, there's going to be some crazy shit that's happening. I know about it. You all know about it. Let's just bless that, and let's more we focus on the positive and going forward with things in a crazy world that's just constantly spinning. Anyways, there we go. Have a blessed day. May the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you. My delivery. Yes, we have groceries delivered to our house. It's going to be here in 9 minutes. So have a blessed one, everybody. And yeah, embrace the future. I'm Mary June. Like, I'm George Jetson. Have a good one. Bye.